We are drowning in a sea of information. An ocean of opinions, where rivers of doctrines flow without stopping, full of heresies, which is much worse. Shalom. This is the last days before the Rapture channel. My operator is a believer who believes in the divinity of Jesus Christ, and in the rapture of the Christian Church, before the tribulation. Recently, when looking for information about pre-existence, my operator ended up finding a lady named Luciana, who explains and defends the idea of pre-existence, that is, she preaches that all human beings were angels, and that they were only born as humans, as a kind of punishment, because they were neutral between the word of God and that of Lucifer. Humans are that third part of angels, dragged by the dragon's tail. From what I could understand, a third stayed with God, a third stayed with Lucifer, and the remaining third, the undecided angels, were condemned to be born as humans, forgetting their angelic life, to decide for God or the devil. As an abyss attracts another abyss, this young lady still defends the idea that Eve would have had sexual relations with the tempting serpent, and with Adam, generating in her womb, twins of different fathers, Abel, son of Adam and Cain, devil's son. Who would have invented this story? These narratives, in my operator's opinion, are like tares being planted along with the wheat. Satan not only denies the existence of the original couple, with a big bang, but also slanders and defames the mother of humanity. Since my operator became aware of these heretical doctrines, he has noticed that many people have this same orientation, and others even worse. During a live, my operator was surprised to learn that the owner of the channel, a gentleman known as Dr. Jackson, does not believe in the divinity of Jesus, although he uses the Bible as his foundation. His followers, mostly baby believers, accept everything in innocence, and those who have some understanding and disagree are scolded. It is incredible how the Christian Bible, among Christians themselves, has so many divergences, let alone with other teachings, of other beliefs. Dealing with atheists is much easier. There are 8 billion opinions. 8 billion worshippers of discernment itself. Would there be 8 billion paths that lead to God? No. Of course not, and my operator can't be politically correct when it comes to heresies. In fact, there is only one path, and at some point we will know whether we are on it or not. Either in love or in pain. Jesus said in the Bible, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." In the book of John, chapter 1 reads, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh, and dwelt among us." In fact, both believers and unbelievers were born dead and condemned to eternal fire. The difference is that, unlike believers, unbelievers rejected the only possibility of obtaining life. Believe in Jesus. In Romans 8:29 and 30, it says that all had their free will tested, in the foreknowledge of God, and not all were approved, so their names are not in the book of life. As for pre-existence, know that only Jesus pre-existed, and we see him as an angel, in several passages in the Old Testament. For example, eating with Abraham, before the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, we see him with Hagar in the wilderness, and also in wrestling with Jacob. So as not to overextend ourselves. Let it be clear that there are no lukewarm angels, there are rebel angels and faithful angels. However, understand that God let Lucifer expose his thesis, and will let him carry it out, so that all faithful angels see and know that God gave him the chance to prove it, until the last instant, before casting it into the lake of fire and brimstone. The truth exists, and it is a person. Those who want the truth will seek it for themselves, with seriousness and determination. God lets himself be found by those who seek him. If you seek it with all your heart. Maranatha.